Welcome back, everybody. This is Ryan with Rhino Ranch. Today we're going to be fixing a patio table that the glass top got broken out of. We're going to be replacing it with a pallet wood top. I'll go through the process of ripping boards, nailing, gluing, and we ended up with a really nice product at the end. I'm going to start out by building the wood frame for the patio table. This first board is just a 2x2. The whole frame is made out of 2x2s. And the first board I'm putting together is the outside dimensions. I've got a 10-inch extension on each end. This just makes the accessibility under the table a little better. The original table made it kind of hard on the ends to slide under with a chair. This whole table can be built with basic tools like a drill, a hammer. I do have a hammer. It's not going to show right about now. I decided to just use my fist because it was handier and quicker. It also would help to have an extra set of hands, which I also have. The whole frame that I'm building now is able to just fit around the outside of the table. This next board that I've got laying, I actually have two 2x4s that were cut to the width of the table. These are going to be screwed into the top of the frame so that the frame has a stopping point that can just rest on those 2x4s. And you'll see a little bit later I cut 2x4s for the length of the table as well, to space 4 or 5 inches apart. I would recommend just buying a sheet of plywood instead of using 2x4s. In this project I actually just used lumber that I had left over from other projects, so none of this really cost me anything at this point. It's just scrap lumber that I had planned for other projects. I did end up having to buy some 2x4s to add in between the spaces. At this point we've got 2x4s laid down the length of the table, spaced about 4 or 5 inches apart. Again, I'd recommend buying a sheet of plywood. It's probably going to take 1.5. Plywood in 2021 is roughly 3 times, maybe 4 what it usually costs, which is why I opted to just use scrap lumber. Now I've got the outside edge of the bottom part of the table going on. These are pallet boards cut 3 or 4 inches in length, just stacked next to each other. I would recommend putting a board underneath for the pallet boards to sit on as you glue. Let the glue dry, and then the next day you can take that board down. After I glued these, I put a finish nail through them, maybe 1 or 2, just to add the extra security to hold them in place. Alright, I've got my outside edge finished. It's glued, nailed. I did this all the way around the whole perimeter of the table. The next thing I need to get done once I finish nailing and drilling is to even off all of the tops. Some of them are longer than the others. Using the different style of boards from the pallet, I got a variation of colors. I'm using an oscillating tool right here to just level off everything. Works pretty good. A circular saw might work better. This is just what I had handy. The next step is going to be to rip all of the boards for the top of the table. This goes for the edging that I used for the top, along with the center boards that I use for the design. It's really important to do this so you get a good clean finish on all of your boards. None of them are symmetrical, so having a good clean finish is pretty important. Once I got the center section done, I added some boards going from the end to end and side to side to separate the design in the tabletop. I ended up using somewhat of a chevron pattern. It just, the boards going from end to end and side to side made it a little easier to butt up the chevron pattern and add some separation. I continued the chevron pattern in all 4 corners of the table. The next piece that I'm trying to accomplish is getting some small thin pieces of trim put up on the underside of the, I guess you'd call it, sides of the table. There is a slight gap in some of it, so this piece is going to cover up that gap. Again, this is all ripped from wood pallet boards. Although the wood can be undesirable, it provides a lot of different color variations. Some of the wood is actually really hard, as you can see when I'm trying to pound nails in. I don't get as far as I'd like to, but with the different species and color of wood, it makes for a really nice finished product. My last step for this project is to get the hole drilled in the center of the tabletop for an umbrella to fit through. Although this looks simple, because some of this wood is so hard, it was somewhat difficult to drill through. Guys, I had a lot of fun putting this table together. I hope it gives you the ideas and inspiration to put one together for yourself. Please feel free to subscribe, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.